graphics, life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You're burying me, burying me. Yeah, you're burying me, burying me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy for the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my hand again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see I am in misery. Everyone is watching me when I'm coming around. They all are judging me when I'm lying on the ground. I've got no shelter, I've got no escape. My life is a prison and I can't run away. I feel it in my bones, I'm losing it all. Stuck in my head, I am in misery. Deep inside myself, all I get, my only family. Stuck in the grave, can someone rescue me? I'm burning alive, I got it, I am in misery.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Taking Over. I am, of course, OLED Ed Fries, sober tonight, and I am joined by my tag team partner, the natural, Hollywood Astrid, the queen of our local establishment, whichever of her 1,000 nicknames you want to give her. She is Astrid Bizarro. Astrid, how you doing tonight?
I'm very excited for everything happening tonight. How about you?
I'm more excited for things that are happening later this week, but we will get into that in a moment. Hello, Bobby. Hello, Millie. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, let's just go ahead and drop the news. Releasing next Monday, before Raw, Astrid and I are going to be interviewing the one and only Big Body Hobby. As Astrid can tell you from the numerous different graphics I've been creating for this, I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, a little bit too excited.
I'm not too excited. I am probably overly excited, but not too much.
I can tell it's your first official interview.
It is indeed my first official interview, if we don't count interviewing you.
No, we don't.
Joe, you made it during the beginning of the show. Thank you. You caught up on Marvel Talk. There's a lot of videos to catch up on Marvel Talk, so I greatly appreciate you catching up. A little bit of both. This is a little bit of both.
Yeah.
We did manage to get the Olay credit card for this one, so we're very excited for this. But yes, that interview it'll be pre-taped later on this week, and it will be releasing on the Worlds Collide post show. We will have the first clip. During Point of View, they're going to drop clip number 2. No. There's not $10 negative on there. There was at least enough to book this interview. But no, we'll be dropping 2 clips. One on the Worlds Collide post show, and then one on Point of View. We'll probably drop one. Obviously, those will both also be on Twitter. both Saturday and Sunday as we get ready to promote this interview that we're very excited for. Me, slightly more than Astrid. Astrid has, well, yeah, but Astrid has these wonderful list of questions that are like 10 words. I have like a paragraph of questions. I have the same 10 questions, but I have them in like a 3-sentence format.
It's okay. You'll learn.
I'll learn. Someday I'll be an old veteran at this and beaten down and no longer excited to do fun things too. Is that what you're saying?
It feels weird to be the experienced one on this end of it. It doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often. It really doesn't. I feel weird to say it's like, you learn.
I do indeed have an expert. I will try not to fanboy during the interview.
That's what we have a Google Doc, because if he gets speechless, I can continue on with his questions at least.
I mean, in my defense, I've come up with some interesting questions that we probably haven't heard in other places.
I didn't deny that. I'm just saying, if for some reason you just can't speak, then I'll speak for you at least and continue, because I have your question. Be like, this is coming from Ed, who can't speak at the moment, and then I'll continue on.
That'll be bad, considering the beginning of the interview, I'm going to most likely have to do the introduction.
Yeah, I'll let you have it.
Oh. Don't wear the guests out with 3 sentences for it. They're not so bad. Astrid has cleared all of my questions. They are appropriate. The length is a little long for some of them, but they're all direct and to the point.
They are.
Trust me, I've asked every 2 days, are these questions okay, every time I add 2 or 3 new questions.
I know. I'm like, dude, I'm busy too.
I mean, I didn't say you had to do it right away. I just put it out there.
I know, but I don't want to forget.
Yeah. I do always answer 3 with 1. Anyways, I guess we should talk about NXT tonight. Yes, this is indeed why Hollywood Astrid is here. And 3 questions. How are you? Are you sure you're good? Can we do this again? I don't think that's going to happen. The less nervous part is not going to happen. All right. Anyways, tonight's NXT episode. It was less wild than last week. No, we are not asking this because we understand that only terrible people like Bobby Munson. Yes, no, I appreciate that, Jose, more than you can know, because you, Ella, Astrid, you 3 have done countless interviews. Bobby's doing countless interviews. And having the support of you guys is fantastic. I do indeed eat my steak well done. That is because I have an issue chewing food. So I eat steak very rarely, but it is always well done. We started with a promo battle between Ethan Page, Laredo Kid, and Javon Evans.
Yes.
This part happened. But the best part of all of this was, as Astrid will know, as Astrid said in our Discord when I was messaging her back, she went, Laredo Kid, LOL, and I go, Huevos! And she's like, of course, that's what you took from this.
It's Laredo Kid, Laredo, based on Sean.
Laredo.
No, he said Laredo Kid.
Well, yes, but that's because he has an accent. I do not.
I don't care. Don't.
And you laugh at me. And you laugh at me when I do my accent when I'm doing my Duolingo. Yes, because there are reasons. I understand it sounds stupid, but there are reasons. I've never. It's probably a good idea. To be honest, I am one of the world's pickiest eaters. Again, back to NXT. I've got to get this train on track. They're basically, Ethan complains about defending the title in a 4-way. He complains about needing to potentially defend the title on Tuesday against Shawn Legacy. Some other things comes out. Shawn Legacy comes out. I'm like, yay, cool, Shawn Legacy's here. This is good. Yeah, I remember watching that segment live. That was something. I
It's
saw
the
Ella posted
anniversary,
about it
that's
today
why.
too. It is. It is. I saw that today from Ella, and I'm like, oh, I remember that segment. That's when I was still watching TNA.
Hmm.
Oh goodness. All right. Anyways, Sean Legacy comes out as Ethan Page had called him some evolved kid. Sean Legacy. Sean Legacy cuts a halfway decent promo talking about how he'd be an honor to wrestle a Laredo Kid, how he has unfinished business with Javon Evans, and how he hopes that it's not Ethan Page. Sadly, this is cemented in my mind that my take of Phoenix winning this championship is not happening, and it's going to be Ethan Page.
He could even show up. Come on, my dude.
Oh, sad. Then out comes the Vanity Project. Yes, we do need Zeta Steel. Apparently, she was taking care of other business tonight. I don't know what that business was, but as she said on Twitter, she was taking care of other business tonight, which is why she was not with the Vanity Project. Which, by the way, why is it that the Vanity Project and Ethan Page just feel like they all go together? Because they're all a bunch of dickheads who need to get punched in the face.
Unfortunately, they fit together.
They do fit very well together. Ethan Page looks like an older version of Ricky Smokes and Jackson Drake all mixed together. Oh no, this is not a fucking emote, is it? My lawyers told you not to use the image, and you made it an emote?
Good job, Overlord, whatever your name is at this point, because we keep changing it.
I haven't had an emote on this channel since we started. And that's the emote that I get? If you don't know what that is, there's a short on the YouTube channel that will fill you in. But it happened during Marvel Talk. Can't explain it. That doesn't even do a good enough job explaining what the fuck that picture was. Anyways, a brawl breaks out, and eventually later on in the show, we get told there's going to be an 8-person tag, and the babyfaces need to find a new partner. That new partner is the fill-in partner for apparently everything, Dragon Lee.
Poor Dragon Lee. I feel really bad for him.
Yeah, I do too.
It's like everybody else is new, shiny new toys, and they forgot about him at this point.
Yep, that'll be fine. So we'll get that match later in the show. I really like all this though. I love the involvement of Swipe Right and Jackson Drake. And I like this mostly because they're using NXT to set up Evolve. They're using Evolve to continue to push NXT. And it really feels like, yes, I understand he's not the fill-in partner for his Worlds Collide team. But the fact that I said it and only one person realized that he's not the fill-in partner says something about that. I love that they're using this to show all these things. Sean Legacy and Jackson Drake are both 2 out of the 4 competitors in the Fatal 4-Way match on Evolve tomorrow night to crown the men's Evolve champion. The other 2 people in that match are Idris Enofe, who I didn't know still worked for the company, and Keanu Carver, the next men's Evolve champion. Because that man is a brick shithouse, and I can't wait for him to dominate with that championship. However, I think his Twitter feed might have gotten him to lose that championship because he did go on a bit of a tirade with that Twitter feed one night. Can't find it now, but he did. We get a backstage set. We get an in-ring segment after a commercial break with The Kingo. Here is the new AAA Mega Champion. Thank God it's not Del Rio. That's all I have to say. Notable prick Alberto Del Rio can go fuck himself. I'm so glad we don't have to talk about him on Worlds Collide. But yeah, so the Kingo's here with that title. By the way, the Mega Championship. I don't know how you say it in Spanish, but that title is beautiful. I love that title. The look of that thing, because it reminds me of those like the Lucha Underground titles. Like I know it's not the same style as the Gift of the Gods title, but I love that feel that it has, that same kind of like little feel like the Gift of the Gods Championship. So I'm very excited. Millennial New. Alberto Del Rio shall never be spoken of ever again. I wish, but unfortunately Mexican wrestling doesn't give a shit. They really don't care. And when you're positive, it's really difficult to use the new humor. Conrad, thank you for joining us. If you need a post show for all things AEW, EPW is where you go. Monday nights at 6 p.m. after you're done watching Spoiler Warning with Tom Collihue, go watch Hubbard Wrestling and Everything Pro Wrestling as they talk about the things that happened this week. Great shows, great guys, love them. Conrad is a fantastic person. Thank you for joining us. We then get Chase U being destroyed by Darkstate. That's the extent of my notes for this.
Yeah, pretty much.
I will say that I continue to love Darkstate in the ring. Everything they do, the moment they come through the curtain to the moment they're done their matches, is sensational. I just wish we had a fucking reason why they're together and what they're looking for. Because they're good. Cutler James was fantastic in this match. Osiris Griffin is a beast. He made Bama Fries go, wow, tonight when she was watching that match. Like, these guys are really... Even Reader Man was good tonight. They're great. But at the end of the day, nothing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. They've got contracts and they come through the entrance ramp and they got a video package. Like, what are we doing? I just don't know. I mean, yes, Chase U is now cannon fodder. But again, Thea Hale and Duke Hudson were cannon fodder in the beginning of Chase U to begin with. So it's not bad that Chase U is cannon fodder. This is how you make them lovable baby faces. You can't just put these two guys in there and expect them to pick up where Riley, Thea, and Duke left off. You've got to give us something, and that's the something that you've got to do. But Darkstate just feels kind of blasé about what they're doing.
Is that they feel like lackluster because you want to praise them, but at the same time you feel like they're missing a little substance, a little character, and there's something missing. It feels rare for us to talk about stuff like anything like this in NXT, but they're missing something. They really are, and I feel like that's the reason why I can connect to them, because even if I didn't agree with them, then I would have a reason to boo them. And if I agree with them, I would have a reason to cheer for them. And I feel like I have neither. So it's like, I don't know how to react to them when I see them because I don't know what they're here for. I don't know how they got together. There's no other backstory. And I feel like with this particular group, they really failed at that end of it. And I feel like they could have done better of giving us more background to how they got together after giving us like each other profiles as they did before.
And like I said, when they were running roughshod, at least they were doing something. We didn't know what they wanted, but at least we understood that they were causing chaos. They're not even doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here? Like, what's going on here? We got to figure this out.
Yeah.
Trick does a backstage promo. He says that he's going to be the one after the 20 plus years of TNA's history to take the TNA championship to the next level. Sure, Trick. Sure. Just don't buy it. Just don't buy it. We then get Dragon Lee showing up to be the partner for Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Sean Legacy against Vanity Project and Page. And again, that was good. We get Tyra May Steele backstage with Carly Bright and Kendall Gray and others. I say and others because I don't know who the others were. I recognize Carly Bright and Kendall Gray from Evolve.
Yeah.
And then there were
Ariana. And
Yeah.
I can't recall anybody else.
Ariana comes in and tries to make herself the center of attention because Tyra May Steele is indeed a legit gold medalist from the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fantastic. She's also the winner of LFG, and she was going to have her debut match tonight. And after Ariana Grace tells her to not talk about yourself so much because people don't like it. Ariana, I missed the hell out of you, sweetheart. Thank God you're back. I'm so happy she's back. Tyra May Steele says it looked like she found her first opponent. No better opponent for her to debut against than Ariana. We then get to the rounds match. Astrid, what did you think about Miles Bourne and Charlie Dempsey?
I really like the fact that they came out together. They didn't put the theme song and they put a stop to it and then put the theme song again for the second person to come out. I like that the fact that they both came together but from different entrances and still met in the middle and still went into the ring that way. It's like I just like the visual. I don't know why. I like the fact that they're from the group. We're not gonna separate them. We're not gonna have a different theme song for Miles, yeah, because he's still part of the group. But I love the visual part of it, like they're still within the group. And not only that, but having Ren behind Charlie, but then Tavion behind Miles too, and just seeing that unison within the group, even as they're coming in like this. I don't know why I really like that. But again, I feel like this match it really showed what Miles got really that push to put it like that he's gotten recently because he did very well with Charlie here. He did like I feel like it was a great showcase for him, just like it was with Oba Femi before, so it's not different there. Not surprised that he won. I feel like they did very well with having Charlie target his ribs throughout the match and working it out and keep going that one, even with the cheap shot that he did. I feel like the only thing that for me though, I'm not saying it was I don't want to say that they should have not have done it, but I feel like I would have liked for him to have the handshake at the end for Miles, just to like so Miles can say, "I earned your respect not only because of the Oba Femi match, but because of this match as well." So I feel like I would have done that instead of what happened afterwards of him not shaking his hand though.
I like the idea that Charlie's pissed. I like the idea that Charlie's like, no, fuck. I built you. I made you what you are. And now when you're starting to get the glimmer of success, you're going to leave me behind and go on your own. I love that Charlie's pissed because it's finally giving Charlie something to do, which he hasn't had anything to do since the Lexus King feud. I repeat that. He hasn't had anything to do since the Lexus King feud. That was in December. I love this. Miles getting the first fall and getting it via like a surprise on Charlie with a wrestling style like, oopsie, I got you. Oh, so good. The cheap shot from Charlie Dempsey at the end of round 2. Really, really good. I love that. I thought it was fantastic. No, he's been here the entire time. He's just not been doing anything in his own storylines, which is a shame because he's a really good character with so much potential. Even just having him and Ren making statements throughout the shows would be important, especially with the rise of Miles and Tavion. I think there was a lot to do with them, and they just kind of left it down. Charlie winning with the Regal Plex, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, was fantastic. And then Miles Bourne. I love that he gets the win here. We've got to get him a finisher besides this fucking drop kick.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. That's the only thing that felt kind of like anticlimactic in a way because it just feels like you're expecting him when you think of a finisher. You're thinking it has to be something impactful in that sort of way. And for him, just having that drop kick, and then when he pinned him right after, I was not expecting him to win because I wasn't thinking that was his finisher. But then it just happened afterwards. So it's like, okay, so it is a finisher then. It's like I feel like I'm still connecting in that part of it for him.
Like I like the drop kick. It's a great drop kick. It's again like everything else in his offense. It's a Randy Orton drop kick. He gets all the way up there like Randy does. He gets all the way up there like Okada does. Like this is Okada Randy Orton levels. It's not quite as good as that, but it's up in that range. He gets way up there. He connects with their forehead. Like, it's a good drop kick. But it's not a finisher. He needs a finisher.
Especially when you think about it this way, like I said, it's like I don't, when he does it, I see the drop kick, but I just don't. When he does the pin, I just don't expect it to win right after that because it's a regular drop kick. So it's like when he does pin Charlie here, I'm like, oh, okay.
Like I said, if that's the biggest problem we have with the match, we're in good shape. But it's still something to talk about. It's still something we have to address because it's something that can be improved. All right, now what the fuck is NXT doing moment of the week? Izzy attacks Brooks for reasons. Says he's not fully if you're not fully committed to the culling, you're out. And she looks at Spears. Spears goes, all right. And the three of them walk away. Oh, also, apparently Nico and Brooks were supposed to have a match against Team Here. And that match has been moved to next week. And when they did the recap of what's happening next week, that match was nowhere to be found. I think it's Briggs and Imamura, but I don't remember.
I was thinking about that. I'm trying to see if I could find it.
I just want to know what the fuck Briggs did to get kicked out of the color.
And around the time like this happened, I even went through the Twitter, and I kept scrolling, and I couldn't find anything from the group itself that could be from something like maybe that it happened before the show, because sometimes it could happen that it happens before the show and they put it before the show happens. Nothing that would kind of give me like any sort of clue as to what happened here. And I was like, what did he do? I just don't get it.
And like I said, maybe there's more to tell, and it's got to be a wait and see thing, like the JC Jane thing last week. But it just when I don't know what's going on, it makes me wonder, why are we doing this? Like, and I'm not saying I have to know everything that's happening, but like when you're cutting somebody out of a group, there typically should be a reason that the audience knows for why it's happening. When Shawn Michaels turned his back on Marty Jannetty, they'd been having issues. We knew the reason. When Triple H gave the thumbs down to Randy Orton, he was jealous of Orton being the youngest world champion in history. We knew why he was getting kicked out of the group. When you're kicking somebody out, there needs to be a reason. Or somebody needs to be turning. There seems to be no turn here. It just seems to be that Izzy's taking a leadership role in the culling, which is fine, but I want to know what Briggs did to upset her. Because I love the culling, and I love everything they're doing, and I need to know more. All right. I'm going to give my quick one-line thought about this, and then we are going to let Astrid talk about it, because... All right, Tyra May Steele defeats Ariana Grace. It was ... fine.
Yeah.
What you got?
I really don't have much aside from that. It's like, I'm kind of mixed on her character because I feel like she could be seen more like a badass, but she seems almost like a Bailey kind of character at first. The way she's like going to the people and giving them like the gold medal, which I get. But then when she does the pose in the ring, she looks so serious that I was like, I want to see that more often. I don't want to see the person that just gave the gold medal to the fan at ringside. It's like, I do like that they were able to show off her power, but at the same time, I was thinking, what was that? I feel like Jasper looked better than she did so far, at least. And I don't know, there's something about that it's not clicking for me. I don't know what it is, but again, she's just starting off, so I'm just gonna give her that moment, that chance, because it happens to us. At first, like, no, but then little by little they keep growing, and it kind of starts clicking for them. So I just a matter of giving her time to like really grow. But I feel like Jasper has probably made to me more progress than she has.
And again, this could just be the fact that we don't watch LFG. We don't know what's going on. Bobby, let me know in the chat if we're missing something drastic here with Tyra May Steele. Like I said, I thought she did fine. I thought her moves were fine. I thought the match was okay. It was really short. But at the end of the day, I think she's better in the ring than I anticipated. But at the same time, it's just... again, it's going to be a wait and see. We're going to have to learn about her. The match was just fine. I thought Jasper's debut with Dante Chen last week was far more successful, getting over who Jasper Troy is, what he's doing, and everything that's going on with him. So I'm very excited. Yeah, I agree she's still green, but that's what NXT is for. NXT is exactly for a green talent to get TV time and get better. I just wonder if the LFG people should have gone to Evolve first and then to NXT. Because I think that they could use some time with some real wrestlers as opposed to just wrestling each other on LFG. Is there a what version of Love Island in the background, Astrid?
No.
That came out of your speakers, not mine. Nobody here watches Love Island. Ariana Grace finally gets a match on NXT, but props to Tyra May Steele. I believe she's a better Olympic wrestler than a certain someone who is disguised as a luchador. I mean, I don't think she's better than Chad Gable, who is also El Grande Americano. That being said, she is certainly better than the other Olympian that WWE tried to bring in at the same time they wanted to bring her in, because he's already gone and we all hated him for good reason. It's also crazy that we're talking about sending green talent to developmental brand in 2025. Yeah, but this is what happens when you have a show where people are earning a contract and they've not done the wrestling thing before. You kind of have to have somewhere else to send them other than NXT. Like, I'm fine with them being on NXT. I just think that they need to be on both. They really need that work. And if they can get 5 matches every taping at Evolve, that's good for them. He's gone from my neck of the woods too. Indeed, he is no longer a Buffalo Bill, thank God. I may not like the Buffalo Bills, but I did not want him on their roster either. For you, for Ella, for Mike the Ref. All of those. Oh, come on, Ed. Admit that's your favorite show to watch. I have never watched Love Island, with the exception of the clips from whatever version of Love Island Astrid kept showing me of my main man, Montoya. I can't. I love Montoya. Montoya's the man.
Wait, wasn't that hitting Netflix soon? Because I want to watch the whole thing, though.
I don't know if that's the one that was hitting Netflix or not, though. That's the problem.
I thought that's what it was.
Yes, Montoya, por favor.
Oh my God.
If you want to hear more about Love Island, after we're done, go back to Auntie Collins' Twitch stream, watch her VOD of her Love Island premiere debut. We got, honestly, that thing in NXT has over the main roster is still running house shows. I agree. There's no problem putting them on the Florida Loop. There's no problem. Like I said, I just think it's a great idea to add them to Evolve just to get them more in ring. Mike the Ref. I've never watched Love Island. Yeah.
No, I haven't either. I just watched clips here and there, but not like a whole episode. So
yeah, I can't be bothered to watch stuff like that. The closest I ever got was watching The Bachelor. Like, I used to watch the early seasons of The Bachelor.
I've seen clips that I've never seen a whole episode.
We get a Santana promo here, and this shit is fire. I love this. I love listening to Mike Santana talk. He is really confident with what he's selling, and the character he is so good. He's developed a character that he feels comfortable with, that he can portray night in and night out. And by the way, for those of you that have the ability to go or have the ability to watch the House of Glory show coming up, make sure you watch that. Santana has the Puerto Rican weekend show with all kinds of fantastic talent, including Chaotic's own Jose Zamora just got added to that show. Elektra Lopez is on that show. Mike Santana, Danny Limelight, all kinds of fantastic people. So if you get the chance, make sure you watch that House of Glory show. It's something I'm going to be looking into to try to find out what's going on there. Do we think he's the one to trick at Slammiversary? Yes, I know it's a long way from now until then, but still. Yes, before 2 or 3 weeks before Trick won the championship, I had put out there that Trick wins the title and that Santana's the one to dethrone him. And I still think that's the case. I think it makes perfect sense. I think, especially the way this happened now, you've now built in a feud for Santana for the next few months, and you can go through the men's babyface roster with Trick defending with First Class behind him, and he can defeat Elijah, and he can defeat insert other babyface who's still in TNA here. I would say Ace Austin, but he's no longer there. And I don't know any of the other. And Budget Matt Taven is no longer there, so hopefully he gets picked up by somebody soon. How Astrid and I didn't get booked for the Puerto Rican show is beyond.
I mean, you're closer than I am. If anything.
JC Jane comes out and okay. Astrid, why don't you give your thoughts first? Because I has thoughts and opinions, but I've talked a lot tonight.
But I did want to point out something that I missed last week, though. I watched it later on socials. That when Stephanie's making her way to the ring, I like the fact that she's walking through the hallway and there's all these girls here. And I like that visual of it because I kept thinking about it later. It just gave me that, even with her, Julia, and Roxy leaving, and potentially Jordan, it shows the depth of this women's division because look at all the people that were around there that could potentially be a champion in the next couple months. Another thing to point out there too, and I'm pointing it out because it continues on tonight too, the fact that Lash Legend just takes out Kalani out of the picture, like, out of here, girlfriends. Like, I don't know what you're even doing here. Well, don't even think about it. I was like, poor Kalani. But to continue on tonight, I do like the promo here from JC. She sounds very confident on the mic. I know all the people that looked over her for the last couple of years and put us at the wheel of the group, every group she was in, to her not being champion. I love the interruptions here, very much so. I feel like this is one that I wouldn't mind it this time around having a battle royal with other people in here, just because I feel like it will get them time to decide somebody because it will be tough at this point. At the same time, we get Lainey Reed, who has been somebody on social media that a lot of people have looked up of wanting to like really be in the women's division. But another thing that I think about too, with other people coming out during this segment, it really showed how there's opportunity here for so many other ladies to show up now that we have that void that the girls left as well at the same time, of like people to step up and take those spots. Aside from her, Lola, we get Lola here in the picture, which I don't want near the title picture, but it might happen at this point, unfortunately. We get Jordan, which I was surprised to see. I thought Jordan would have or should have been called up to SmackDown and not shown up tonight, so I was very surprised to see her of all people. But very glad that she was there too. Then we get Jada, who still gets a lot of love from the crowd for some reason. We get Lash, but we had Kalani before that. And then as she is talking, Lash, her music didn't even come up. And all of a sudden, she again steps out and makes Kalani move out of the way as she's talking and making it about herself. I do like the fact that the crowd is chanting for Lash, though. I feel like it's not very often that you get a reaction for Lash, and I was very happy for her to get that kind of reaction. And then I like how you see almost like that hallway filled up with people all the way there. And then we have Lainey that was in the back towards commentary. That's where she came from. Only for the lights to turn off, which really happens in NXT, right, Ed? So we get a very nice presentation of the very glamour herself, Mariah May, from WWE shop model to NXT superstar now at this point. So yeah, but and again, like Ricky Saints, she didn't mention her name. She says the glamour, so I'm guessing there's going to be some kind of name change coming up soon. But again, I love the fact that she's here. I feel like she's one of those that she will fill in one of those big spots for somebody that left from one of the girls on the main roster because she's very popular. I think she might keep the Mariah, but I think the last name will be the one changing, like Ricky is. That's the feeling I got so far. But again, I like the presentation from her. The fact that they gave her that spotlight to begin with. She got a huge reaction from the crowd as well, which is something that people were not expecting to see tonight. But very happy for her that she finally gets a dream to be in WWE after so long.
Okay. I thought JC Jane cut an okay promo. The crowd got to her at every single opportunity, and it really kept throwing her off her game. However, I'm really impressed with what she did say during the promo. I thought the The meat of her promo was very good. Nobody believed in me. I believed in me. These girls believed in me. Me and Fallon were sisters, and we called the shot. The best part also is Fallon's still not buying into all of this, and she's still a little irritated and ticked off. If you kept watching Fallon during this promo, yes, Mike, you and Booker T believed. You and Booker T alone believed in JC Jane. But yeah, the NXT crowd was getting her off base. Lainey Reed was a very interesting first choice. I didn't see that coming. That was cute. You'll be honest, though, I thought it was that Maggie Lee girl from the Indies. When she first popped up, I'm like, oh, Maggie Lee got signed to WWE. That's cool. And I'm like, oh, wait, no, I know this person. That's Lainey Reed.
She signed to a TNA.
Oh, is she?
Maggie, yeah.
Well, that means she can show up here, too.
I'm not saying she can't. I'm just saying she's already signed.
TNA is WWE's other developmental territory.
Yeah.
With the rate they're signing people from TNA, it's their other developmental territory. Mike Santana, the next one to come over when his contract expires.
Hell yeah.
But the fact that Lash just pie-faced Kalani is something else I made sure to note. JC Jane versus Lash Legend, I think, is a really good feud to start off with for JC Jane. I think it's a really fun one. I don't think we see Mariah March, whatever they name her, and I think the March one that has been going around and everybody just like shitting on it. I think that's I think we're all really onto something that's probably what they're going to do. I know Mike was doing Audrey August and Judy June, but don't pass up Mariah March, because that one I think has a lot of staying power, especially with the crap names that NXT.
What if they put May, but they spell it out MAE, so it's still May though in a way?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. Like, still going, so September. This segment is crazy, but it's craziness in the best way. This was craziness in the best way, and I do love and I love the AEW debut style, because, like Astrid said, they never do this on NXT where it's like lights out debut. They almost never do this. These people just normally just show up and start talking on a microphone. Ricky Saints in the crowd, things like that. They don't normally do it this way.
The one I remember the most recent is with Ethan, because it turned off the lights with the whole Lash and Trick promo was happening for Ethan to show up.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess, because technically he interfered a couple weeks before. I hate that you pointed out that Booker T could still Booker T just with some of the other. Yeah. He Mariah May is right up on the top of that list. He's still going Booker T on JC Jane too, the rock star and everything. So Booker T is still Booker T, no matter how many people come and go. Anybody but his wife. Anyways. Moving on from Booker T and this wonderful women's segment of look at all the women in the ring. Or, well, outside the ring, but Battle Royal time! We then see Stevie Turner with the Evolve Women's Champion, Callie Armstrong, which, by the way, fantastic choice, Evolve. Fantastic choice. I love Callie Armstrong. I think she was a perfect choice. The other competitors in that match were Kendall Gray, Astrid Pizarro, otherwise known as Wendy Chu, and what's her name? Smiley Kylie Ray. Those are the four in the battle in the Fatal 4-Way last week that Callie Armstrong won. You had all of the Evolved women in the background, and TV's like, look, who's going to be the next to step up? This could be you guys in the future. And I'm like, all right, cool. This is great. Again, we're showing off the Evolve talent. We're trying to get people to watch Evolve, but we're using them in a smart way that doesn't make them just feel like wasted space. It's let's introduce these talents to you so that when we continue showing some of them up on NXT, you know who they are. Really, really good, really smart idea.
Yeah. I wanted to show this one out from Get the Tables. The crazy discourse I put about Mariah. The sudden hate for her living out a dream is crazy. I thought all that matters is the talent is happy. That's something that it really bothers me in that sense of it. I just don't understand how people don't think of them as human beings. Because I'm like, you're telling me that if for some reason you worked in this company, but your dream job is in a different company, you wouldn't switch to the other company once you ended up building up your name and getting enough experience. Like it happens in real life all the time. So I just don't understand what's different with wrestlers that they can jump from one company to the other one. I think it just makes it more unexpected because look at the reactions we're gonna get tonight because nobody knew that Mariah was coming up like this. And it's like look at all the reactions that she got. It happened with Ricky came out too, and same thing with Ethan, something very unexpected. And I feel like it makes for a good surprise in just TV altogether that we usually don't get either. So I just don't get why we were so upset. Look at her Twitter. Like she's been a fan for years. She's been wanting to be in the company for years. And it's just like it's her dream come true. AEW wasn't her dream. It was WWE all along. And people like Stephanie has said it too. It's like my dream has been WWE because that's what we know. But it just I don't know. It feels so crazy to think about like how people you go from like loving them in a few months to hating them just because they changed to a different company. That just wow.
And it does really go both ways. There's also Kachichi who says she was horrible until tonight. The IWC sucks in general, except us, of course. Yes, and I agree. Like I said, I may not be the biggest Mariah fan, but I wasn't a big Mariah fan before. I'm not a huge Mariah fan now. However, I'm very excited for her to have this opportunity. Would I, if I had the chance, trade her to the main roster to bring Stephanie Vaquer back down? Yes, in a heartbeat. Because I prefer Stephanie Vaquer over Mariah May. Mariah May is a talented wrestler who's done fantastic work with Toni Storm. I'm very hopeful that she will continue being the fantastic talent that everybody thinks that she is. Just because I'm not a huge fan. But then again, I also, when she debuted, didn't say anything. I made sure that only in our little Discord where you posted the picture of Mariah and I go, great, she's here. I would have preferred Stephanie stay. But like that's the end of it as far as I'm concerned. I've also never been fully opposed to people going to AEW. Just because I don't like to watch AEW on a weekly basis. I'm cautiously optimistic to see her in a North American feud, not included. I am too. Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of potential that she's going to be great. There's a lot of potential she could be terrible. We don't know. I'm hoping for great because I want everybody to be great. Fight for your dreams and your dreams will fight for you. Oh God, who said that? I forget who that is. Is that Brian? That's Brian Danielson, isn't it? Didn't Bree tell him that? She had a tryout in the UK, was green then. She went to Stardom, got grizzled. Then she went to AEW with one of the top women there. Now she makes it to WWE Submission Legacy. Absolutely. And like I said, I'm very excited for Mariah May in NXT. I think there's a lot that she can do. Again, not my cup of tea, but just because somebody's not my cup of tea doesn't mean that they're not going to be great. They're not going to do wonderful things. It's entire wrestling tribalism is so weird. Like, I take fun shots at the competition, but I also make sure that when I watch AEW, I watch people like Mike the Ref. I watch people like Get the Tables. I watch people like that who enjoy the product to teach me more and to be in an environment with people who enjoy what they're watching. Because if AEW and AAA and TNA and Stardom and New Japan do better, WWE does better. Because they've got to up their game to be as good as everything else. I mean, you might not be wrong. But what I'm saying is that there's just so much good wrestling. Watch what you like. Don't hate watch. Which is why I don't watch AEW, because I don't hate watch my wrestling.
You were using the wrong email. It's that one, okay? Just so you
know. No. My lawyers are... I'm going to have to contact my lawyers again. I've already had 2 conversations with them this week about that fucking picture, and now I'm going to have a third. I deleted my initial Twitter reaction to her debut because I didn't want to be one of those people and try not to, but sometimes. And like I said, it's fine to have an opinion about somebody debuting. It just you gotta temper it with lose the tribalism and root for everybody to succeed. I mean, they may only cost 2 cents, but that's all I can afford. Munson's got the Olay credit card. He can afford the good lawyers. Lionel Hurts. Yes. Mike, don't tell him my lawyer's name. Shh. Bobby Stats is here. Hello, Bobby Stats. Thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Wrestling companies doing well makes other wrestling companies want to do well. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for tribalism in 2025. This is something for there's something. Yeah, there really is something for everybody if you look hard enough. There really is. Jose is such a smart person, which is why we love having Jose on our shows, including every Friday night with Auntie Collins doing the Mother Tucking Post show, where they are now talking, I believe it's All-Star Season 10 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Correct me if I'm wrong, Andre, but Jose, but I think I got that right. All right, get my notes back up because the phone died. Yes, I got something right. Hold on. I got something right. That means...
I'm right! I'm right! I'm in the right!
Yes. And indeed, from cross-dressing, cross bodies to cross-dressing. Indeed. We were talking to Blair from Grainmaker, and he was talking about a wrestling company where they have drag queens doing the wrestlings too. So you can even, if that's your thing, you can even find that. I forget what promotion it is, but if you want to, go ask Blair on Grainmaker Wrestling Pod on Twitter, and he'll be able to lead you down there. Like what you like, we have the internet. You can watch wrestling across the globe now. Be like Joe. Be like Jose. Be like all these people. It's fantastic. Hate to say it, but when the company leads the tribalism by super booking a weekend like they did just July, it's hard to kill. Yeah, July. Oh, July. Yeah, that was rough. I mean, I get everything takes time, but that's bad. You could have done it the next weekend, I think. I think we could have done it the next weekend.
No, it was booked.
You know, WWE's going to WWE, and TKO is going to TKO, and you know. Sometimes being a fan of WWE just means rolling your eyes and going, "Shit, they did it again." And I don't mean, "Oh yay, they did it again." It means, "Oh shit, they did the wrong thing again." But it's a fantastic weekend of wrestling that I get to enjoy. So yay me. Paige and the Vanity Project backstage, they all look like they belong together. They're all a bunch of dickheads that just need to get punched in the face. And this includes one of my very favorites from Chaotic Wrestling, Ricky Smokes. But he needs to get punched in the face too. We then had the match. Dragon Lean Crew, which was made up of Javon Evans, Sean Legacy, and Laredo Kid. See, I told you don't want me to do the accent. Taking on Ethan Page in the Project. This match is fantastic. I adore this match. I love this match. What I think is so great about this match in particular, they do indeed look like Ethan's kids. They really do.
I love the visual too when they do the entrance and all the entries in the corner, or three of them together, only for them to pan out to Ethan and just going out like that by himself.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Laredo Kid. He's Canadian. No. Fire you. Don't do that interview. I don't do accents ever, almost, except when I'm doing
it's rubbish.
Anyways, no, I love this match. I mean, it's not.
I mean, he has wrestling kids. It's a different kind of kid, you know. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's like Roxy and Cora being AJ and Punk's kids, you know, it's wrestling kids.
Well, they don't have actual kids, so it makes it better.
I know.
By the way, shout out to Elena Black for her Ariel Harwani podcast interview. I have watched the entire thing. It's very good. Ariel Harwani in general just does very good work. I love the fact that all of the Evolve kids look like they're just NXT talent at this point in the ring. Like, they don't look like it when they come to the ring, but once they get working in the matches, they fit right in. They don't feel like green talent. They don't feel like they don't belong. They feel like they've been here at NXT, like they've earned this, and they were doing some really fantastic work here. Jackson Drake really surprised me a lot tonight. I have seen less of him than everybody else in this match. I've seen a lot more of Sean Legacy and Brad Baylor in the bits that I've seen of them than I've seen of Jackson Drake. I've seen much too much Ricky Smokes. The Smoke Show is fantastic. And then, of course, you know, I thought Legacy was going to get the win over Brad Baylor. I was surprised that it was. I wasn't surprised it was Brad Baylor taking the loss. That makes sense. I was, however, surprised that it was Laredo Kid getting the win. No, Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee. They're masked wrestlers. They're all the same. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, it was just...
That hurt me inside so much.
That hurt me inside. Jackson Drake started in Carolina. He's very young. No, I agree. I think I agree. Jackson Drake is really good. I was thoroughly impressed with him. I was impressed with a little bit of his work in one of the other WWE ID matches that I got to see of him. Very excited for that. Bryce Donovan is not part of the group, but he is part of Evolve. He's part of the ID talent. Marcus Mathers is another ID talent that we'll probably see in the near future.
I'm still recovering from what he just said.
Now, to be clear, I said that they were masked wrestlers and they're all the same. I did not say anything about their race. Just so we're clear, when you send the hate mail to Bobby Munson at Real Bobby Munson on Twitter, remember, I called all masked wrestlers the same, nothing else.
Ay. Eduardo Papas Fritas, what have you done?
I don't know. I love this match though. It was great. What do you think of this match?
I need to recover from this. I don't know if I will anytime soon.
All the hate mail is going to Ed. I eat my steak well done.
I need an emote of Ed wearing a Rey Mysterio mask.
No more emotes of Ed. No more making
Bobby, can you get that going in the office, please?
I mean, Astrid will let you. I'll be honest with you. She'll let you. The comments expressed by Edward Fries do not reflect all local establishment. It's subscribers, friends, podcasters, or sponsors. Indeed true.
I like that idea.
The problem is Hogan would agree with the false statement that everybody's going to say I said. So
yeah, we need an emote of Ed with a Rey Mysterio mask on.
All right, Jasper Troy and Obafemi are in the office since Asher's not going to talk about the 8-man tag.
I refuse to know.
Jasper Troy and Obafemi in the office. Jasper Troy, as he's signing the contract, says, Oba, is it interesting to have to look up to one of your competitors? And I love Oba's response to this. It's so great. Jasper, it doesn't matter if the mission is snapping a twig or knocking down an oak tree. It goes the same way. God, I fucking love Obafemi. He's so good. Also, Jasper Troy has had one match and one Evolve. And he's getting a world championship match against Obafemi.
I know. I'm like, what did this guy do to get this?
Meat is indeed on the menu for next Tuesday. I mean, the alcohol hasn't gone far.
I was about to say, it's probably next to him anyway still because it was close enough. It's okay. 40-year-old Eduardo can't even hold off the alcohol while he's doing that, so... Yeah, I ratted you out.
You ratted me out to who?
To everybody here.
There was a clip of it. The next day, there was a clip of it.
Still, you never know who doesn't watch the clips.
everybody should be watching the YouTube channel. By the way, we can take away the. Before we continue with the rest of the show, we do want to go ahead and shout out our local establishment, the place where we do this show, as well as Astrid's YouTube channel. Every week, they are fantastic people who have a variety of content. Before we go ahead and show the calendar of everything we've got coming up for the rest of this week, we do want to go ahead, for anybody who missed it in the beginning of the show, me and Astrid, later this week, releasing on Monday night, do have the opportunity to have this interview. Corky and Javier Bernal is going to be interviewed right here on our local establishment. You can catch that interview this Monday night. We are very excited. Me, more than most people, apparently. Apparently, I have a childlike glee, shall we say, about doing this interview. So for anybody who missed it, that interview will be releasing on Monday night, before Monday Night Raw, so people can watch that before they watch Raw. It's very fun. It's going to be a great time. But for all the other things like the Mothersucking Post Show, Ring Respect Radio, here's the calendar of all the things that our local establishment has coming up. We'll be back to finish the show in just a little bit.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Things are going and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me the storm is coming, so sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Know that I need you, why?
So those are all the wonderful things that you can see from our local establishment this week. And yes, no, the interview is not going to be live. I'm a smart man. I know that interviews get pre-recorded so that you can get clips, so you can put out clips. Because I learned from this lady. I learned from Ella J. I learned from Jose on the air. You always do interviews off the air and then bring them to the air. Plus, exactly, they don't need a hijack like STG. I mean, the only hijacks we allow on our local establishment.
You're watching OLE, and this is a Dijack hijack.
Those are the only hijacks we allow on this channel. Just so we're clear.
Oh, did somebody say retribution? Is that what happened?
No. Don't.
No.
He's not far from here. He will find me. Shh.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a replacement for a co-host.
That's why this Thursday, once again, we have a special guest. Love. Does Javi know the intro music? Because I feel like he'd be there. He doesn't yet. He will come to stand from Thursday night. He will do know. Oh, okay. Anyways, Zaruka are trying to comfort Tatum Paxley. And I'm glad Millie's here for this because she has very strong thoughts on him that are going to hit the chat in about 5 seconds. Before Izzy comes up and tries to talk her into joining the culling, it seems. And Tatum seems a little surprised and a little intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this? Do you think Tatum's going to join the culling? Or do you think this is just set up another feud?
I'm torn about it because I like what Tatum's doing by herself. I wouldn't want her to be part of the group. But at the same time, I feel like it's been working well for Izzy. So at the same time, I wouldn't be hesitant if she did join. I just want to know how they were executed, though. That's the, I don't want to call that issue, but that's the, like my thought process right now, at least. I just want to see how it'll change with her. But I just like Tatum by herself. I'm like, you just got her out of a team to put in a different group. That's the only thing. I'm like, eh. But no, every time I see her, it just makes me miss the girls, unfortunately.
I I think that this is good for Tatum in a variety of ways. I think even if she doesn't join the culling, I think having them courting her and having them play with her mind on screen is a very interesting idea. We've seen Tatum seems to gravitate towards friends, to gravitate towards people, to help her with, I don't want to say the voices in her head, but seemingly the voices in her head on screen. This is all very weird doing this before we get up here for Dollar Husband. It's like, how do you address this? No, I think there's a lot to take with this character, and I think there's a lot of directions you can go with her being intrigued by this idea, but never actually being part of the group. Having them use her to help Izzy continue to get higher and higher, I think could be an interesting way to do this. It also looks like it's going to set up something between Izzy Dame and Sol Ruka, and I'm all in favor of that. I think there's a lot of fun there. A short tag team thing between Sol Ruka and Zaruka versus Izzy and Tatum could be fun too. There's a lot of interesting layers and things you could do over 4 or 5 weeks with this that I think could make for some interesting television. So I'm down for them continuing whatever route they're going, even if she doesn't join the group, which I don't think she should. I think there's a lot of ways you can do this to get some good TV in between. Now you got to worry about both Izzy and Zarya breaking people's hearts? Yes. Yes. You need to look out for all of your poor women because they're all going to get their hearts broken on that show. It is indeed NXT Love Island.
Yeah.
Luca and Tony have a backstage segment that basically boils down to Tony and Luca are taking on the High Rise next week. Okay. My question, and I'm going to take it for The Simpsons. Where's Poochie? Where's Stax? Where the fuck is Stax? Why is he not on my television? This is 2 weeks. This is 2 weeks post their match, and we've seen nothing.
And this is why I think they're failing in this feud. Because, like I said, I said it from the beginning, a lot of him being outside, him being via satellite, via camera, not being in front of Tony. There's no physicality. If you think about it this way, if this is something that's been like, think about it this way, how long he's been in the family, and if he's been in the family for years and this betrayal happened, you will see some kind of physicality here more often than anything. And I feel like we haven't really had any here, if any at all. And then him not showing up the last 2 weeks, I feel like it's not clicking. It's not the way I expected the feud to go. I get that we have the fact of Luca being there, and it's like a big question mark. But I feel like Stack's presence is definitely missing a huge part in this feud here.
I also, while we're talking about Stax, want to bring up something that came across the internet from a wannabe professional wrestler that's still living off of the short-lived gimmick that he had in the 90s. Big Vito! Big Vito, go fuck yourself. All right, we're done with that. That was easy enough. Like, Johnny the Bull Stamboli, if I remember correctly, Big Vito. Honestly, I can't even tell the two of them apart at this point. Like, if anything, the FBI should be the ones upset by this whole thing. Doing an Italian gimmick, you figure the FBI would be the ones who'd be upset. Big Vito? Like, what the fuck? What? The rare occasion when Ole talks about a man in a dress, not on the Talking Post Show. And yes, Mike is correct. We're going to talk about this in just a little bit, but yes, Joaquin Wilde got an injury last night on Raw, before Raw main event. He knocked himself silly.
I think it was a speed match, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is it a speed match? I apologize.
I think so.
That was main event.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was done before Raw last night, all I remember. Yeah. So I just assumed it was main event. But he's fine. He says he's fine. He knocked himself loopy. He knocked his bell rung. Yes. Sounds like he's got a concussion. WWE doing the smart thing, pulling him from the match and just inserting in another luchador that they have under contract, Lince Dorado, who has quietly been under contract and working at the Performance Center. So, Yeah, and we're going to talk all about Worlds Collide and give our predictions for that because we're not doing a preview show for it. So we'll be doing that in just a little bit. Next week's show has Obafemi versus Jasper Troy for the NXT Championship. Sean Legacy will challenge for the North American Championship against the winner of the Fatal 4-Way at Worlds Collide. We'll go ahead and do our Worlds Collide thing now, as they showed some of the matches, but we have graphics for everything. Astrid, who do you think is winning the North American Championship match? Is it Laredo Kid, Javon Evans, Ethan Page, or Ray Phoenix? In chat, make sure you give your opinions in the chat.
Chat.
Yeah, chat.
I don't know. That's a tough one, but I'm gonna stick with him. I'm just gonna stick with Ethan. Why not?
I wish I didn't have to go with Ethan. I wish I didn't have to go with Ethan. So I'm not. I'm going to stay with Ray Phoenix, even though I know he's going to lose. SCG says Ethan. Millennium Noob says Ethan. Wait, Lindsay is... No. Lindsay is once again employed by WWE. He was released, and he's now back. He's a coach and working with NXT as a producer for matches on NXT and Evolve. But he is back as... He's also he's under a wrestling contract as well. It's one of those multifaceted things like Sean Spears has going on, where they're doing coaching at the PC. They do some wrestling if necessary. Lindsay's been working the house loop for a while now. He's been doing the Florida loop, doing random spots on those shows to help with talent. So, yes, Lindsay Dorado is indeed re-employed by WWE. Again, it's not going to be a huge push. This isn't going to be something huge and massive. Melba! Hello, Melba!
She's back!
She is back. Make sure that you catch Noah Unleashed that we released earlier today. And tomorrow you can catch Strong Style That's not the name of the show. Strong Style Fashion, where it's inspired looks from Melba. It's just watch it. It's a get ready with me wrestling edition. I don't know any of this. I'm very confused with all of this content. I like to know what content. I understand that. I'm still very confused about what this Strong Style Fashion is going to be, but all right.
Melba, can you correct him since you're here already?
Yes, I mean, indeed, correct me. I mean, I got the Mother Tucking post-show stuff right earlier. Lord knows I wasn't going to get this right. While waiting for Melba to correct us, let's go ahead and talk about one of the 6-man tags that we have going on. Legado del Fantasma takes on, this is El Hijo de Dr. Wagner, Pagano, and of course, the winner of the match, Psycho Clown! Psycho Clown will win this match.
I feel like storyline-wise, I would kind of expect Legado to lose it just because it's something that's kind of been brewing the last couple of weeks. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually lose it. Who would win from like the other side per se, like getting the pin? I don't know, but I feel like I just have Legado losing.
Yeah, I definitely have Legado losing. Less than my obsession with the fact that I get to watch a guy named Psycho Clown wrestle. I'm sorry, I like the Clown faction. Anyways, yeah, I think I'm very excited to watch all these matches because I'm really not familiar with much of the AAA roster. So I'm very excited to see what we've got coming up, including the only women's match. Oh, before we do that, we do have... It's a Get Ready With Me series inspired by a wrestler. I built an entire outfit inspired by Tam Nakano, still currently walking around in a pair of the purple thigh highs. Interesting. Again, I'd say it's going to be fun. I'm excited for this. I still don't. That still doesn't really explain to me what I'm about to watch, but we'll all watch it tomorrow when it releases.
Yeah.
Auntie Collins just went live on Twitch. Oh, she just started now. Good, so we can raid into Auntie Collins later. That's good. Speaking of women and all kinds of wonderful women, these women, 3 of these 4 women I'm going to rate. We got Stephanie Vaquer tagging with Lola Vice, taking on Dalise y Check Tormenta. Astrid, who you got?
There's no other answer.
Well, there is another answer, and it's the obvious answer, and it's anybody but Lola Vice. So it is Dalis and Chick Tormenta.
No.
Yeah. Remember, Stephanie's also got to work double duty,
I
along with
know.
somebody else on this card. So, Stephanie's working double duty, so I have...
No, there's actually 2 different people, remember?
No, they're not 2 different people. They're the same person. Do not Marks Talks Wrestling.
One of this is Chad Gable, the other one's a star.
All right, I will be talking about this match, which is, as we've talked about, breaking news. Joaquin Wilde will not be in this match, and indeed it will be Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and now Lince Dorado taking on, now we'll get this correct, Mr. Iguana, Octagon Jr., and Lucha Underground's fabled spaceman, Aerostar.
Wait, I thought you said it was Lince in this match, so they didn't update the graphic?
They don't have an updated graphic
Okay.
just yet on
Hard
the
to say.
WWE page.
I'm like, that's not Lince.
No, that is not Lindsay, which is why I prefaced it with, we just had the breaking news about this. But no, I think that the LWO-ish team will win this match. I think it's going to be a pretty fair split.
I was going to say, I think the name gave it away.
He has a fucking iguana, puppet on his hand. Yeah, it's a bit strange.
I
Also,
don't know.
Mel, very excited for Mr. Iguana.
Mhm.
Oh, it's absolutely a puppet. We saw it tonight on the show. It's a puppet. I don't know who she was going to insult, but somebody.
Always.
But yeah, no. Astrid, thoughts?
Wait. No, he's not, I guess. I'm going with Team WWE on this one.
Team WWE.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Oh no, I thought she was excited. She's very sad about the iguana. I'm like, no, she's not. I'm like, who's not? Oh, that's a sad face, not a happy face.
I mean,
I thought. Never mind. Not gonna say. I had a comment. I'm not gonna say. Anyways, in our main event, Chad Gable will be working double duty on the 7th. Takes on El Hijo de Vikingo, the Human Gift Machine, and the new AAA Mega Champion.
not almost. I did call him a Starbucks drink.
She did. Well, you guys didn't hear the rest of it, but yes, she did indeed call him Starbucks.
Yes, I did. Hijo de Vikingo, for sure.
Well, yeah, duh. I mean, he just won the title. They're not going to put it on fucking Chad Gable.
No. So.
While she may not like Mr. Iguana, she's definitely a big fan of Dr. Ryder Jr.
Hmm.
You know what? Good for her. Maybe we'll have to bring in Mel for the post show. If she knows some of these people, we'll have to bring her in for the post show. It's not like Mel has anything better to do on a Saturday afternoon. I'm kidding. Oh shit! Fuck. Okay.
He was trying to put the train on the rails and he took it completely off the rail.
That came out way worse than it was supposed to. In my head, that was a lot nicer than when it came out of my mouth. He's asking to get this blood.
That kid is more sarcastic.
Oh, God. Well, this is my last night at our local establishment, except for the interview on Thursday. It wasn't T-Bubble's birthday on Sunday. That was very nice to wish her a happy birthday. All right. To finish out the NXT show, we did indeed have a match between Mike Santana and Trick Williams. Astrid, can you think you can talk about it, or do you want me to go ahead first?
I don't know if I can breathe. Whew, okay. I mean, it was not special to it, other than the fact that Elijah was there as Santana was making his entrance. That's when we spotted him the first time. So I had a feeling he was gonna get involved somehow, just not sure how. But at one point, Trick takes his guitar, stamps it down, so that takes out Elijah from his seat. But then, as Trick is over there with Elijah, we get Casey Navarro and Flop Dollar coming over to take out Santana, and Trick comes back for the trick shot and getting the win. So we do have them having separate feuds for the moment until we go back to the championship later. Oh my gosh, I can't breathe.
All right. No, I liked this match. I thought it was great. I thought Santana and Trick actually had really good chemistry. I thought the match was really good. I'm really enjoying seeing the offense that Santana can bring in this singles environment. I think that it's going to be a very interesting road to Slammiversary, where I still think that Santana takes the title off of Trick Williams at that point. Mm-hmm. While I hate the fact that we have Flop Dollar as a part of First Class, I do think it makes fantastic sense to put that dumb SOB with this group. With Trick Williams, Casey Navarro, and Flop Dollar, it makes perfect sense. I'm so upset, like Noob. Of course, Flop Dollar somehow stuck like that in WWE.
I mean, better him than other people. I'm sorry.
I agree. There's a lot of people below him on that list of people. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, if we put a scale on it, he's a lot higher than other people are. So,
like Ryback, like Alberto Del Rio, notable prick Alberto Del Rio.
Exactly.
Like he's a lot better than a lot of these people that I don't want back in this company. So honestly, it's fine. And by the way, it makes perfect sense. Trick Williams was built to be part of First Class. The problem is Trick Williams is now more popular and a better wrestler than the guy who's leading the faction. Seems like a problem.
I just like the fact that Casey was on NXT. Yes.
Casey Navarro,
happened.
Yes, the hearts did happen. Casey Navarro, who was the first recipient of the TNA game ball, as it were, on the recent TNA tapings before they went to during the last pay-per-view weekend that they had. Because I do watch the TNA website and a lot of their videos, because that's the only way to get to keep up with TNA nowadays. Because somebody took a show off the air and decided that, I don't get to have my Impact reviews.
Is that more?
Anyways, that was NXT for tonight. You can catch us again. Well, you can catch at least some of us this weekend on Saturday, as I will be at least reviewing NXT Worlds Collide. I'm hoping to have my tag team partner with me. It'll be a game time decision on whether or not that happens, because Hollywood Astrid's rates go up dramatically on the weekends.
Oh yeah.
So it's hard to book her every weekend.
Higher demands on the weekends.
We cannot beat that demand. Anyways, you can go ahead and catch Astrid at all of these wonderful places. Astrid, tell the good people what we've got going on.
I mean, like you said, we have the interview coming up on Monday. Aside from that, we'll see what happens later on. Other than that, you can find me on my Twitter, Blues Guys, Astrid Pizarro, my Instagram and Threads, Astrid Pizarro 20. You can follow me on TikTok. I've been posting more on TikTok more often, so getting those clips in there. So if you have TikTok, you can follow me there. Helping me grow their account.
And of course, you are going to be part of the Sinners Review this Friday, correct?
Yes.
Bobby Munson.
Yeah. Already been recorded. It'll premiere on the 6th. So Friday, I think.
Yep. It premieres this Friday. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter and Blue Skies at EdFries12584. You can send all of my hate mail to at our local establishment, olepodcast@gmail.com. Again, all the hate mail goes to olepodcast@gmail.com. You can go ahead and catch me next Wednesday as me and Andre C are back with another Marvel Talk. We'll be talking all things Thor Ragnarok this time around. We will hopefully be joined by the Empress of Marvel Talk, but that's a maybe and an unlikely maybe. But she's a wonderful person who's allowed us to have another great Marvel Talk episode. If you go back and watch last week's Marvel Talk episode, you can understand what the fuck that emote is all about. And yeah, of course, if you want to follow Javier Bernal to see all kinds of great Javier Bernal stuff, you can follow him at beacons.ai/CoreKidJavi. You can find all of his social media, his merch store. You can book a cameo, which we can say firsthand is fantastic. We love our cameo that we have from Javier Bernal. And again, we're very excited for that interview. It will be coming out Monday night. We will go ahead and have a couple of clips coming out over the course of the weekend to go ahead and promote it. Again, I'm very excited for this. It's a big thing for me. I have to tell you, I
didn't notice.
I've done a lot of work on the back end for all of this. Astrid is sick and tired of me, and she'll be so glad when the interview is over.
Agreed.
But for myself, for Astrid Bizarro, we are going to raid into the wonderful Auntie Collins. Until then, have a great night. Talk to you later. Bye.
I am in misery.
Everyone is watching me when I'm coming around.